everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making number 361 granny square of our 365 days of granny squares. Today's granny square is so interesting. It is called Lacy Bullion Heart. You already see it, those bullion stitches. But don't worry, this is the last time of the year that we'll be making bullion stitches. So this square today is designed by Bonnie, and you know that a lot of her designs have bullion stitches incorporated into them, and they are just fabulous. And this square today is the bullion heart style. We are making the bullion stitches and then making this into a heart shape and making a nice little frilly edge here. And then we are actually fastening off and making a solid granny square, just like number 2 granny square of our 365 days of granny squares. And then we're sewing this heart onto our square. So it's like an applique. It's quite interesting, and we've never sewn on appliques to squares, so this is nice to learn how to sew on appliques and sew in your ends and fasten off and all that stuff. So it's a nice project to learn something new. Now in today's granny square, I am using 3 different colors. You can use as many colors as you want. This square worked up really fast for me, and I'm using Red Heart Super Saver yarns. This is a 10 ply size 4 worsted weight medium yarn. You can use any double knitting yarn, any worsted weight yarn, any scrap yarns that you have lying around you can use for this project. And I'm going to demonstrate this using an H size crochet hook, which is 5 millimeters. So make sure you have that handy, as well as a yarn needle and a scissor to cut your yarn and sew in your ends, and that yarn needle comes in handy when you sew on the applique of the heart onto the square. So make sure you have those tools. Now before we begin, I do have to mention there are links in the description of this video. So there's a link to the written pattern for this Lacy Bullion Heart by Bonnie. So make sure you click that and follow along with that today. Also, I didn't measure this square. Let me quickly measure this. Turned out to be 18 centimeters, which is 7 inches. So if you need to, you can use a smaller hook than that H size hook if you want to make this a little bit smaller. Also, in the description of this video, there's a link to the Facebook and Instagram, so I would absolutely love it if you shared your photos online today. Share them on the Facebook in the comment section of today's post, and then on Instagram, be sure to hashtag 365 days of granny squares and hashtag YARNutopia so I can see those bullion stitches today. You can follow me on Snapchat. I am YARNutopia on Snapchat, and I've been adding quite a bit to my story lately, so make sure that you follow me there. And last thing I have to say, a big thank you to my dad, Fuad, Azmat, for taking the time to make this video with us. He is our videographer, editor, and photographer for every single one of our videos. So make sure you subscribe to our channel so you can get that update on when he posts our next video. So now let's get started and make number 361 granny square. Let's start out with a slip knot. So put your short end over your long end, fold this down, and then pull that through and pull it tight. Insert your hook and we can start. So let's start out by chaining 4. So yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then go all the way into the first chain way over here, go in and make a slip stitch to form a ring. So yarn over, pull through and through, and there's your ring. So now we are going to chain up 3, so yarn over, pull through 1, 2, and 3, and that's just going to get us to the height that we need. We're not really going to be using that chain up 3 at all. We are going to put 12 bullion stitches and a chain 1 in between them, all in this chain 4 ring here. So what we're going to do is yarn over 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we're going to hold those all on the hook there, go into the ring, and yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all of the loops on your hook. And I find it a lot easier to guide those loops off your hook with your other hand, just like this. Okay, so then that is a bullion stitch. Awesome. Okay, you can kind of spread it out there. There we go. make it all pretty. Now we need to chain one, so yarn over and pull through, but don't pull that too tight. You can see there's a long strand in the back there. That's going to just keep it all nice and secure in there. So now we're just going to repeat that around. So yarn over 10 times, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go into the ring, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all of the loops on your hook. Okay, and remember, guide the loops off your hook just like this. Okay, and then chain one, and continue doing that until you have 12 of these bullion stitches in total. So wrap 10 times, bullion stitch into the ring, chain one. So I'm going to do that all the way around this ring, and then I will meet you up for round 2. Alright, so I have my 12 bullion stitches and 12 chain one spaces. When you make your last chain one space, we're going to slip stitch to the first bullion stitch. Okay, so not this chain up 3. You can see 1, 2, 3. Go to that right after that. There's a stitch right there. We're going to go in and yarn over and pull through and pull through. And now for the round 2, if you are not changing color, slip stitch into this chain one space after this bullion stitch. So go in there and then yarn over, pull through and through, and go on to round 2. Let's see here, you could chain up 1 and go on to round 2, but I'm actually just going to chain 1 right here and cut this yarn, pull that through and pull it tight, and I'm going to change my yarn. So I'm going to grab my other yarn here. And we're going to start in a chain one space. So I'm just going to go into this chain one space between the bullion stitches and hook on my new yarn and pull that through. And then chain up 1 and single crochet into that same chain one space. So go back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's our single crochet. Then we're going to chain 5, so yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are going to skip over a chain one space and we're going to single crochet in the next chain one space after this bullion stitch. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to skip a chain one space and then single crochet into the next chain one space. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And we're going to do that again. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip the next chain one space and single crochet into the next chain one space. Now we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to single crochet into the same chain one space that we just made this single crochet in. That's going to be the point of the heart, the bottom point there. Okay, then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip the next chain one space and single crochet into the next chain one space. Then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip the next chain one space and single crochet into the next chain one space. Okay, then we are going to, let me make sure I'm doing this right here, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we are going to skip this chain one space here right before our chain of 3 right here. We're going to skip this one and we're going to go where we have our first single crochet. We're going to slip stitch into that single crochet of this round. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Okay, so if you can see it, I'm not sure if you can see it right now, but this is supposed to be a heart shape. So we have the chain 5 spaces are the humps of the heart, and then bottom here is the point of the heart. Okay, so these next few rounds will shape out this space here, these stitches here. So what we're going to do is slip stitch into the chain 5 space here. I'm not going to change color. If you want to, you can change color. Fasten off here, start in this chain 5 space right here. We're going to go in, yarn over, pull through and through to slip stitch in there. And then we are going to chain up 1. And in this chain 5 space, we're going to make a series of stitches. We are going to put 2 single crochet, so go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So again, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to half double crochet 2 times in there, so yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Again, yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now we're going to put 3 double crochets in there. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's a double crochet. So that was 1, here's 2, and here's 3. Now in this single crochet right here, we are going to put 2 double crochets in there. So yarn over, go into the single crochet and put 2 double crochets in there. 1 and 2. Okay. In this next chain 3 space, we are going to put a double crochet. So yarn over, go into the chain 3 space, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Then we are going to put 2 half double crochets, so yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And again, another half double crochet. And in the same chain 3 space, we're going to make 2 single crochets. So go in, yarn over, pull through 2, and again, if you need to scoot these over, put your other single crochet in there. Now in this single crochet right here, we are going to put a single crochet. So go in, yarn over, pull through 2. Now in the next chain 3 space, we are going to put 3 single crochet. So go in, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. Okay. Now we are going to skip this single crochet right here, and in this chain 3 space at the bottom here, we are going to put a single crochet, then chain 3, and then a single crochet back in there. Okay, that's the bottom point of the heart. Okay, now in the next chain 3 space, we are going to put 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. We are going to single crochet into this single crochet here. And in this chain 3 space, we are going to put 2 single crochets, then 2 half double crochets, and a double crochet. Now in this single crochet right here, we are going to put 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And now we are at the last chain 5 space right here. So in here, we are going to put, let's see here, in the chain 5 space, we are going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to put 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. And then we're going to put 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. Now we're going to slip stitch into this beginning single crochet right in here, slip stitch in there, and slip stitch into the first stitch. So this single crochet right in here, so not this slip stitch, not this chain up 1 here, go into the single crochet and slip stitch in there. Okay, just like that. Now this next round we are going to stay in that first single crochet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this up so you can see the shape here. If you can, kind of stretch this out. You can start to see that it is heart shaped. How awesome! So now we're going to go on to round 4. Okay, so I'm going to stay in the same stitch here, this first single crochet in the chain 5 space. We are going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch into the next stitch. So go into this next stitch right here, go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Okay, and then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into the next stitch. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Okay, and we're just going to repeat that until we get to this bottom point here. I'll meet you up when I get to that point, and I'll show you what to do in the point of the heart, but I'm just going to chain 3 and then slip stitch into the very next stitch. And it gives this nice little frilly edge here. Okay, so I'm just going to continue, chain 3, slip stitch into the next stitch. And when I get to the point, I will show you what to do there, and then we'll go on to the next step together. When you get to the point here at the bottom of the heart, we are going to single crochet into that chain 3 space, then chain 3, and then single crochet back into that chain 3 space. Okay, and then we're just going to repeat what we did. So chain up 3 and single crochet into the next, or I'm sorry, not single crochet, slip stitch, silly me. We're slip stitching. So then chain 3 and slip stitch into the next stitch. Then chain 3 and do the same. So you can, I mean, you could do single crochets if you want to, but you can slip stitch, chain 3, and then go into the next stitch and slip stitch, and then chain 3. And just do that all the way to the rest for the rest of these stitches here. And then at the end of this round, I will meet you up and we'll go on to the next round. Alright, when you make your last slip stitch, chain 3, and then slip stitch into the next stitch there, we're going to fasten off the very last stitch there. So I'm just going to fasten this off. So I'm going to chain 1. Now, if you want to, you can cut your yarn quite long, or you can cut it short and use just one strand for sewing later. But I'm going to cut this one quite long for sewing later. Okay, pull that all the way through and pull that tight. And now look at how cute this little heart is. We actually have now a cute little heart applique that you can use for you know, sewing on blankets or sewing on a hat or something like that. But I'm going to set this aside and we're going to make the square shape, and then we can attach this to the square. So let me set that aside and grab a yarn to make your square. Let me see here. Okay. Make a slip knot, so put your short end over your long end, fold this down and pull this through and pull tight. So now we are going to start out by chaining 4, so yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to go to the first chain, just like I showed you in the beginning of this video, make a slip stitch to form a ring. Okay, then we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and put 2 double crochets into this ring. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And again, yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and put 3 more double crochets into this ring. You can make a traditional granny square, or you can make a traditional solid granny square. We are making a traditional granny square to put the heart on. So now chain 2, 1 and 2, and put 3 more double crochets into the ring. 1, 2, and 3. Then chain 2, 1 and 2, and put 3 more double crochets into the ring. Okay, this is a refresher of granny square number 1 here. Okay, then to finish this round, we are going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and slip stitch to the first chain up 3 right in here. Go in, then yarn over and pull through, and pull through. Now we are going to, we're actually making the solid granny stitch. So we're going to chain up 3 here, 1, 2, 3, double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and in the corner, chain 2 space, we are going to put 2 double crochets, then chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets. Okay, And then we're going to double crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to, in the corner here, put 2 double crochet, then chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets. Okay, then repeat, so double crochet in each of the next stitches until you get to the corner. And then in the corner, put 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets. Okay, I'm on my last section here. We're going to put 1 double crochet in each of the stitches until we hit the corner. Oopsie. And then in the corner, put 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. So now what we're going to do for rounds 3, 4, and 5, oopsie, we are going to repeat row 2. So slip stitch to the first chain up 3 there. If you need to, go back and watch my video for the solid granny square. That's number 2 granny square of our 365 days of granny squares. And in the corners, instead of putting 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet, because I did that for number 2 granny square way back in January, we're going to put in the corners 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. Just repeat round 2 for however big you want your square to be. I'm going to do this for rounds 3, 4, and 5. And then once I finish round 5, I'll go on to making round 6 with you. Alright, when you come back around, make your last few rounds here and make your square as big as you need it to be. We are going to go on to our last round. This case, in my case, it's round 6, so I'm slip stitching to the first stitch here. For our last round of the square, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet into each stitch around. And in the corner, chain 2 spaces, we are going to put 3 single crochets in the corners. So this is just a simple clean up your edges kind of round here. I'm just going to single crochet into each stitch, and then once I have this solid granny square finished, we are going to bring that applique back in and sew that onto this square. Alright, when you single crochet around, be sure to slip stitch to the first single crochet of this round, and then we can fasten this part off. So chain 1, cut your yarn, pull that through and pull it tight, grab your yarn needle and sew in that end. So now we have a basic solid granny square, and then we are going to sew on that heart that we made earlier. So let's sew in this end and cut any extra. Okay, just so we don't have to do that in the end here. Okay, find a nice spot for this square, or for this heart here on your square. I think I'm gonna do it here. So you can see my seam is kind of obvious, so I'm gonna put this over it so you can't see it behind there. And this is how I'm going to lay it down on this piece. And remember, I told you to cut that strand kind of long. If you didn't, you would need to get a strand of yarn and yarn your needle with that. Okay, and then we're just going to sew this piece on, basically just tacking it down. So make sure it's positioned straight on your square here. And then I'm going to put my hand underneath here, and we're going to go into both layers, okay, of the heart and the square, okay, and we're going to go back and forth, like in and out, just sewing, you know, around here, around the heart shape. And then I'll just show you how to do this all the way around so you can see exactly how I'm doing it. I'm just going in both layers and then coming back out. And again, don't forget to position this straight on your square so it doesn't come out crooked on the square. Okay, we're just going all the way around. Awesome, halfway there. Awesome, we're almost done. Then, when you come back around to the top here, we are going to fasten this part off. So to fasten off, we are going to go into the square, so into everything in the back here. I'm going to turn this around so you can see. Okay, and then we're going to go underneath a couple of these stitches, like this. Okay, I like to keep my finger in the loop here, like that. And then we're going to come back around through that loop, like that, and then pull tight. Okay, and that makes a little knot. So we're going to do that a couple of times. So go back in, underneath those stitches, pull up that loop, go back around through that loop, and then pull tight. Okay, and then we can sew in this end, okay, underneath some of these stitches. Back and forth. Make sure it's hidden. And then cut off any extra. And there it is, number 361 granny square of our 365 days of granny squares. You can pull up these frilly edges here. How pretty is that? Wow, that turned out so fabulously. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Bonnie for allowing us to use this pattern in our big project. This one turned out so beautifully, and it worked up quite fast, especially since we already know how to make a solid granny square. So thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see your lovely hearts on Facebook and Instagram, so be sure to hashtag 365 days of granny squares on Instagram, and I'll see you tomorrow. Happy hooking!